Hello everybody, I'm very excited to be here to talk about a social innovation project I've been working on for about the last 2 years called the Keller Futures Center. To get started, I'd like to give you a little bit of history. There were 3 main inputs that were the drivers for the format of the experiment we've been playing with in the last 2 years. The first being a request from higher education. Grand Rapids Community College is like any other college and university in the area that's responsible for training the people of our community for the jobs of the future. It's very difficult for them to understand what the jobs of the future are going to be. As a matter of fact, in the next 10 years, 50% of the jobs that will exist don't exist today. But what they can do is take a shot at understanding the skills that are required to make people more productive citizens and possible employees in the 21st century. And they believed that some of those skills are probably related to the ability to collaborate better, with the ability to solve the complex problems of our companies and communities, and the ability to understand the complex systems and how they work and make meaning of complex systems and situations. So they were looking for a way to experiment with the use of those skills, to watch them in action so that they could then improve the curriculum and morph it to be more appropriate for the future. At the same time, social entrepreneurs were asking the question, is it possible to have the community step up and be more responsible for leading the change that's necessary, the kind of transformation that's necessary to make our community more sustainable? Specifically, Fred Keller, the CEO of Cascade Engineering and a known social entrepreneur and champion for sustainable businesses and communities, asked the question, is it possible to find a way, a method, a tool, some mechanism that allows the people, the citizen of the community, to be the unit of change and to be less reliant on governments, politicians, and even the institutions that are put in place to support the community? This is a conversation I was invited to. At the same time, I had to kind of wonder whether Fred's request was even possible. Because when I thought about the community and the state of the community, with the current economy and people losing their jobs, people underemployed because they had to give up compensation, the fact that with the increased diversity within our region, we're still seeing issues of racial intolerance and prejudices. And at the most recent U.S. Census, we realized that the gap between the haves and the have-nots is only increasing. So is it possible to motivate and engage a community that's overwhelmed, demoralized, and probably pretty fearful and hopeless? The challenge, I call it a worthy challenge because that community, the people in this room, our neighbors and friends, are a wealth of experience, knowledge, and skill. And it's a shame if we can't get it to leave their home and come out and engage with solving the problems of our community. So those were the inputs. What we decided to do was create a project-based learning opportunity where we identified community problems, created a kind of a project brief or a problem statement, readied it for the community, and created a place with a process and invited people in the community to participate in a process of problem solving. We've done 6 projects to date, and I'll give you just a quick example of the types of projects. The first project was an urban agriculture project focused on providing low-cost, high-quality food in an urban setting. The second project was about the future of career services, as people re-engage with colleges and come back as adults, underemployed or unemployed, and they want to know what kind of credentials do they need to be successful in life. The schools aren't quite ready for that change in demographics. So how do the counseling services, placement agencies, and people that are put in place to support people do a better job of that? Another project that we just finished that I'm pretty excited about was focused on improving the academic achievement of Latino youth in Grand Rapids. More specifically, it was about how do we improve the resilience of Latino youth in poverty at a high school age and encourage them to stay in school longer. These projects have been very exciting, and being able to participate in them and watch what happens as we execute these projects, there was 3 key points that made me and continue to make me hopeful that there are methods to engage people in the community to step up and solve some of the problems that are impacting their lives. The 3 that I want to talk about today are creating a design mindset within the community, helping the community to understand and become more aware of the context that creates the problems and the systems that impact them, and the concept of iteration, the ability to start to create some momentum that gives people hope and a sense that traction can be made and they actually can make a difference in the future. The first concept of creating a design mindset. My background is industrial design and innovation leadership in a corporate setting. And it's very easy in a product world or product development world to have people understand that everything that we see, touch, feel, and interface with has to be designed. It didn't just show up one day. In the corporate world, we understand that there are processes that allow us to make progress. As a matter of fact, we focus so much on processes, you can even maybe go too far the other way. But in the community, they're not exposed to that kind of information. People in the community don't realize that the complex problems that they're dealing with are essentially, there are processes that allow us to understand them and allow us to solve them. So when we talk about creating a design mindset, what we do is we create project-based learning opportunities where we take complex problems and we make them small by making them a project, where people can see that there's a starting point and a clear methodology to get to an ending point. Maybe not the complete ending point, not the final solution, but a solution that makes them feel like they're making progress. That's pretty motivating for people. The other thing that we noticed in doing this is that the community gets pretty excited. People in general don't get invited to events where they actually get to participate, where they get the inside scoop and understand what's really going on, and that their contribution and the use of their skills is kind of honored, and people are excited to see it. They get invited to events maybe to spend 30 seconds expressing their opinion at a town hall meeting, or they maybe get invited to a speaker series and listen to people talk, but they don't get the chance to actually show up where somebody has set up a situation where the time they're spending there is actually work. What's very exciting about that concept also is that people, in order for us to recognize the talent, experience, and knowledge of people, we need to be able to see them working. We need to be able to spend enough time with them to know what those talents are. Our project format, we basically spend 7 weeks where we usually have 2 days a week in 3-hour sessions, 42 total hours. So it's just the right amount of time to interface with people within the community and have people from the community interface with each other to relax and get to know each other and to kind of realize what kinds of skills and capabilities other people have. The result is that it creates trust. It creates opportunities for people to meet people they typically wouldn't meet. We develop project teams that usually include students, educators who are very interested in morphing or modifying curriculum, and then concerned citizens, passionate citizens, or subject matter experts on the topic that we're studying. And you can imagine with that list of folks, the levels, for example, the economic levels between a student and maybe an executive director of a foundation, or a student and a director of a food co-op. When you spend 42 hours with people using tools that nobody really is familiar with, and everybody's in the same boat learning new tools, all of a sudden agendas, hierarchies, people's attitudes get leveled out, and everybody learns together, and then everybody has a chance and to get the confidence to speak up and sometimes go toe-to-toe with the people on the team. The second concept about context awareness is really exciting to me as well. It's all about what you know and you don't know. We make so many decisions, very important decisions in our life, with very limited information. In the context of the business world, we all know that we get invited to meetings. The agenda is set out ahead of time. There's a very specific time slot, and you're told exactly what to show up and talk about. Those meetings run so efficiently because people are rewarded for that efficiency. It's really rare for people to have the opportunity to talk about what they learned about as they created the information to bring to the meeting. In this process, we're very visual. We try to do whatever we can to have people see the broadest context possible, where they can see the problem that they're studying, what comes before it, what comes after it, and all the interface points related to making it happen. We map the people interactions, the tools and process interactions, and the places and environments where these opportunities are supposed to be happening, looking for clues where things aren't working well. What's really great about this process as well is when people walk into a project and we have a problem stated clearly, they usually buy in. They say, yeah, that's why I'm here. I want to participate. When you go to research context, when you discover as a collective you're missing some information, and as a team you go back out into the community and you study it some more, you talk to people and dig a little deeper, most often we reframe the problem and we rewrite the project brief so it's more accurate. So then what we create is going to be more useful as a solution in the community. As an example, the Latino Youth Project, where we focused on resilience, when we started it, we thought we were going to be building resilience in Latino youth. As the team went out and talked to kids, recent immigrants, kids that have had trouble in school, and talked about what their issues are, what we found was that these kids are probably some of the most resilient people on the planet. So we were able then to reframe the project to say it's not about building resilience, it's about finding ways to have them leverage the resilience they already have so they can use it as a tool to improve their lot in life. This process also, because of the context overview, allows people to think in terms of systems, which is obviously really important in the future. And then the other thing about it is when you take the time to let people talk about a broader context, people have more of an opportunity to talk about what they know and don't know. They can contribute more because if you can get out of the boundaries of what everyone thinks you're going to be talking about or what they think the problem is, and they can go broader, there's more opportunity for somebody on the team, a diverse team, to step up and contribute in ways they didn't imagine originally. The third concept that I think is a real coaching opportunity for the community is this concept of iteration. We have kind of a perfectionist attitude or mentality in communities and in businesses where people are fearful to throw out an idea. They're fearful to say, hey, I have an idea. Why don't we use this or why don't we think about this? Because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid that somebody's going to call them out and say, you know what? That's a dumb idea because you didn't study the topic or you're not smart enough to know that that's the wrong idea. The concept of iteration says that in this process, if we did a good job of understanding context, if we did our homework and research as a group in the community, if we did the work, then right now, at that moment, we're the world's most knowledgeable experts on the topic as a group. And that's empowering. Let's throw an idea out there and let's get feedback. Let's invite people to critique our idea. Let's use that feedback, modify the idea if it's appropriate, and go back and try it again. The idea or the concept of iteration is if you can prototype things in a low resolution, very inexpensively, and invite criticism, it also creates a very healthy dialogue where you're saying, you know what, maybe we don't have all the answers, but I need your input. I really want your insight, your knowledge, and your skill, and I want you to contribute to the solution. That kind of a dialogue is healthy. The other thing that it does is it allows teams to become motivated because they're actually feeling the momentum. They're creating tangible ideas that are described in many ways. And when they create those things, throw them out there, and the feedback, even if it's critical, there's a response where people at least give them validation that they accept the idea. It makes them feel like they're making progress towards real solutions, and that rarely happens in communities if they don't step up and have the opportunity to contribute to this solution making. The other thing that this does is we set out to create a platform to test new skills. And one great way to test new skills is to practice those skills over and over and over again. So if we can iterate in a process and go through a cycle of creating solutions, testing solutions, getting feedback, and doing it again, the practice we get, even in the context of a 42-hour project, is pretty valuable. So the results of what we've been doing have been pretty exciting. This project-based learning format where we take cross-functional teams from different demographics within the community and we lay out a process and facilitate it for the community. We're letting people see skills that are appropriate for them to learn for the future. We're also seeing more about the skills that the community has. One thing I'm hopeful for the future in this process is that these experiential learning opportunities could be a place for people to observe, where people in the community who might not have the credentials that we're looking for because they don't know how to speak about them in the format we want, or their resumes don't quite fit our templates, we can actually witness the skills and competencies of people that might be useful for our businesses. The next thing that we're doing that I think is pretty exciting is there's a lot of people out there that have problems. There's a lot of foundations, a lot of nonprofits who are put in place to serve the community, who are uncovering really big, complex issues, and they're missing processes. They don't understand the problem-solving methodologies that maybe they should, and they're looking for help to find solutions. What's really great is if the people of the community themselves are capable of contributing to solving those problems, and the solutions are actually for them. I think Fred Keller's right. If the people can create solutions that they own, then maybe change and transformation is going to be faster, easier, and much more sustainable. The surprise in this whole thing is that a lot of the solutions look a lot like new product and service opportunities that can be new businesses for existing companies, or they could be picked up and executed by entrepreneurs who are looking to start new businesses. A quick example, that sketch up on the upper left is actually a Rana Alexander masterpiece, journey map, which is a composite sketch of over 45 different people's career journeys. And we went out and tested this with people. And now this is being proposed as a way to help small counseling organizations reach larger numbers of people. If you have a group of 30 people serving 30,000 people, and you can't allow those people to access the help and counseling services, what if somebody could touch that surface in an area that looks like the situation they're currently dealing with? 3 questions pop up. You answer the question. The software allows you to allows the system to understand more what you're looking for and put the services in front of you in a more automated way. That's a product that can do good within the community of counseling, but it also could create business opportunities for any entrepreneur who's willing to take it on. So that's an extra bonus feature of this process that I'm pretty excited about. So, we're supposed to throw out a challenge, and I've been thinking long and hard about what that challenge is from my point of view. And I think what it is it's about raising the bar. If we want to engage people in the process of creating solutions to the problems that they face, if we want them to be a part of that process, we can't just create events. We need to create projects. We need to put processes in front of them and know that they have the talent to participate. They have the creativity and the skill and the desire to contribute. We just have to create those opportunities. Thank you.